During our class videos, you may hear our poets and playwrights use terms that are new to you. We have created a list of key terms and definitions that you can refer to at any point during our video lectures. This list is available on the Videos and Readings class page, where you can read it or download it as a PDF. If you would like to find and review these terms while you watch each class video, you can stop this video, go back to the Videos and Readings class page, and download the PDF. There you can play this video and each of the following class videos. If you have any questions about these terms, we encourage you to ask your teaching team in the weekly class discussions. Courtney Sina Meredith is the New Zealand author of the award-winning play Rushing Dolls, a poetry collection, Brown Girls in Bright Red Lipstick, and a new book of short stories, Tall of the Taniwha. Her writing has been translated into Italian, Spanish, German, Dutch, French, and Bahasa Indonesia, and in 2016 she was a resident of the International Writing Program.
Kia ora, talofa lava, malolele, and warm Pacific greetings. My name is Courtney Sina Meredith. I'm a poet, a playwright, fiction writer, a musician, a very proud dog owner as well. And today I'm going to be speaking to you about building your voice. That is, your unique perspective and what it is that defines you as a writer with a special focus on poetry. So the more material you have, the more opportunities you can respond to. But you want that material to have depth. It's a balance between quality and quantity. So how can you achieve this elusive goal of amassing an archive of writing that genuinely captures your unique voice? When I had my first writer's residency in Berlin 5 years ago, the first thing I saw when I walked into my hotel room was a Moleskine journal on my pillow, and that was actually my first Moleskine. When I opened the journal, it had notes from my residency hosts of great places to eat, museums to visit, and lots of local wisdom. I've been writing in diaries and journals actually since I was a little girl, but there was something unique about the hand-drawn maps and the elevation of a journal from being a kind of a resting place for experiences into a live space for questions, research, ongoing dialogues, and also a soft place to fall. It's a huge amount of pressure to expect yourself to generate fantastic poetry out of thin air. We don't live in a vacuum, so make use of whatever is around you. There are things happening all the time, small moments in your life that only you will be a witness to, and those moments are all poems waiting to be written. Invest in a decent journal, something that you're really proud to carry around. Actually, I've got a white Moleskine right here with me. Something well made that makes you want to write in your very best handwriting. And you don't have to be inspired to simply describe an exchange between strangers on the bus, or your surprise at seeing trees in the fall transformed into gold. What you respond to, what holds your attention, what you find remarkable or unremarkable, all of those choices build your voice and what you give voice to. The more things you expose yourself to, the more expansive your writing can be. I like to think of my approach to using journals as a kind of crystal effect. That is to say, imagining that I'm just a crystal that the light passes through, and so I'm having this kind of simple, weightless engagement with the page, as though I really am just filtering what it is that I see and I believe and reflecting that onto the page without judgment. And that last point about suspending judgment is actually really important, especially with new ideas, because there is plenty of time to be critical in the editing phase, and you don't want to snuff out your own light before it's even had a chance to shine. So try and hold off if you can on being super critical, with keeping in mind that you can do that when it comes to editing. So make it your mission to get in front of as many different art forms as possible. Try to paint the artworks back to yourself with words. The words that you choose, what comes naturally to you, will slowly develop over time into a pattern of engagement with different art forms. There is so much literature to be found in contemporary art. When I lived in London, I went to the London Art Fair and also to the other art fair, which is organised by artists. And I filled up, seriously, like half a Moleskine journal at each of those art fairs, just with colours, angles, short entries detailing how different artworks pushed for different narratives of the world around us, and how those creative arguments, if you could call them that, provoked different responses in me. I gave myself permission to stand eye to eye with creations of all shapes and sizes, and to have the freedom, the confidence, and the joy of responding. You can do this with your favourite texts as well, whatever you hold sacred. Try to see the work with new eyes and then give something back. A critique, a few lines, a few questions. And none of this is to literally write poems about art or to write poems in response to Shakespeare's plays or the Bible or the Quran. What you are doing is building your voice. Learning how to make work in the space between who you are, what's happening in the natural world, and how to bridge that divide with your writing. So if you can think about it as in the more notes you have, the more brainstorms, the more critical thinking that you can bring to your craft, the more treasure you have to build your poems from and upon. So try to strip back your writing to reveal the questions that you are asking yourself. With my first book of poems, Brown Girls in Bright Red Lipstick, I was asking myself what kind of a world I wanted to live in, and the poems were a response to that desire. A world where young women of colour were celebrated at the centre of their own stories and agents of change. I was working in a very loaded and political space without truly realising the force of what I was doing. So as a young poet, I just wanted to share my ideas with others, but I quickly learned that when you write about social issues from inside of them, when you have the experience of that particular oppression, there is an integrity to your voice that naturally attracts others in similar circumstances. The questions that you ask yourself can set into motion a whole chain of events on the page that can result in a cohesive manuscript with a clear sense of voice. Having a community or a cohort of writers around you that are all coming through at the same time and writing through a similar literary lens isn't a privilege afforded to everyone. You can, however, create your own sense of belonging and build a community of texts around you that you believe to represent and reflect your own writing. Libraries are a great place to simply go and feed, and I'd really encourage you to do that. Run your eyes across as many different forms of writing as you can. Feed your muse on the greats. Read through recipe books, children's books, self-help books, travel books, journals, magazines, letters. Refuse to limit yourself. Make a commitment to being open to a whole world of words. Develop a network of people that support your journey as a creative, regardless of whether they write or not. The important thing is that they won't let you give up, and on those days where you truly believe there's nothing interesting to write about, they'll give you a good nudge back towards the page. If you can make friends with that blank space and see it as a place of your own communion, you will be an unstoppable force. So today we've discussed just a few practical ways that you can build your voice, your unique perspective, and what it is that defines you as a writer. I hope you're as excited as I am to see what the future holds, what you'll put your voice to, the issues you will care enough to speak into history, and the communities you will discover as your voice grows from strength to strength. Thank you.
During our class videos, you may hear our poets and playwrights use terms that are new to your teaching team in the weekly class discussions. Courtney Sina Meredith is the New Zealand author of the award-winning play Rushing Dolls, a poetry collection, Brown Girls in Bright Red Lipstick, and a new book of short stories, Tall of the Taniwha. Her writing has been translated into Italian, Spanish, German, Dutch, French, and Bahasa Indonesia, and in 2016 she was a resident of the International Writing Program.
Kia ora, talofa lava, malolele, and warm.
View these terms while you watch each class video. You can stop this video, go back to the Videos and Readings class page, and download the PDF. There you can play this video and each of the following class videos. If you have any questions about these terms, we encourage you to ask you. We have created a list of key terms and definitions that you can refer to at any point during our video lectures. This list is available on the Videos and Readings class page, where you can read it or download it as a PDF. If you would like to find and review